Last week, the NSCAA brought you a Missouri Valley Conference tilt from Evansville when the Purple Aces bounced the Drake Bulldogs. On Friday from Lewisburg, PA, two of the Patriot League's finest squared off. We've got highlights from the Bucknell and Lafayette matchup, and we've got an in-depth look at men's college soccer coming up, courtesy of the NSCAA Men's College Soccer Review. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Dean Linke, and dressed as a former Georgetown soccer coach is my broadcast partner, Keith Tabasic. We are at Bucknell getting ready for a big-time Patriot League matchup. And when you look at Bucknell, they've got 13 wins, Keith, and one more, they'll set an all-time wins record.
Yeah, and that's why that's so much on the line tonight. But, of course, it's also trying to get into the Patriot League tournament. Right now, American University is at the top of the league. Bucknell 1 point behind them, and the Lafayette right behind them. They also feature two of the best attacking players in the league, Connor O'Brien for Bucknell and B.J. Glenn for Lafayette.
So when it shakes out, who's going to win the Patriot League?
Well, right now, American is sitting in the best seat right now. They play Holy Cross tomorrow. They win that. Obviously, they control their own destiny in the final weekend, and they're really on a tear right now. They beat a very good Georgetown team in midweek 3-1, and it's been a while since they've lost a game, so they're really on the top, but it still goes down to the final weekend, especially if Bucknell wins tonight.
Of course, this isn't the only conference worth looking at. A lot of tight races and conferences elsewhere.
Yeah, there are. In fact, you get to these last couple weekends, and everything's on the line because people are trying to get into their conference tournament. You know, in the MAC conference, for example, Iona, until a couple hours ago, was ahead of Loyola. Loyola just beat them tonight 2-1. They're both going to be fighting for the for the conference title there. The Atlantic Sun, I just got to throw out a congratulations to Florida Gulf Coast University, and it's only its second year in Division I. They're not eligible for postseason because of the transition, but Bob Buhorn's done a great job. They're actually first place in the Atlantic Sun, but it's going to be Campbell and Stetson playing for that championship, probably down the line in their conference thing. The Big Ten, Wisconsin right now sitting on top, but that's open to anybody. Northwestern, Penn State right behind them. Let's talk about the Northeast Conference. Quinnipiac actually is at 5-0-2, and we've been talking about Monmouth all year. You know, they've been unbeaten until last week, and Monmouth's 5-1-1 sitting behind them, and St. Francis 5-1-1 as well, so that's also going to go down to the end. And I think at this time of year, we've said it before, it's all about conferences at the end, people trying to get in the conference tournament so that they can get the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament.
Well, and also RPI, as confusing as it is, plays a key role as well. Where's the RPI right now?
Well, the second RPI just came out last week, and it's hard to say whether it's answered more questions or brought more questions to the table. You know, some of the things. The ACC right now, they're the big winners right now. If the NCAA was to start tomorrow, they would easily have the most teams. They have 6 teams in the top 20 in the RPI. The Big Ten also doing very well, 5 teams in the top 25. But people are going to look at it and they're going to wonder, how is this math going? It looks like my math in high school. It just doesn't add up sometimes. Princeton's number 10 in the RPI. Congratulations, Jim Brollo, but they're 7-5-2. People kind of wonder about it. Indiana's in the top 10 RPI, and they're at 5. Well, they're a game over 500 now. And by the way, you have to be 500 or better to get into the NCAA tournament for selection. So this is going to move a lot. There was one team, Sacramento State, moved 92 points from the last RPI to this one. So, hey, you guys out there worrying about the RPI, stressing, anything can change before the next one.
All right, let's forget the RPI for a moment and take a look now at the NSCAA rankings. And you know what? You just got to tip your hat to Caleb Porter. We talk about him every week, but when you're 16-0 playing the schedule they play, they practically played everybody in the Big Ten, Keith, and they beat them all.
Yeah, they have beat them all, but the other thing with that is the fact that everyone's trying to get them now, too. So they got the big bullseye in their back, and he's still doing it.
We saw UC Santa Barbara light up Indiana, and they're still playing well.
Yeah, they beat Cal Northridge 2-0 midweek. 6 shutouts in the last 7 games for Sam Hayden, their goalkeeper. He's only letting 1 goal in those 7 games, and yet their RPI's down at 48. There's something with that.
Now, we also saw Ken Lola's Louisville team, and I think Ken would even admit at the time they weren't a number 5 team, but they're playing one now, I think.
Yeah, they beat Cincinnati 3-1. They sit on the top of their division in the Big East Conference. They play a game at Villanova this weekend.
Now, when you think ACC, you think Wake, North Carolina, Maryland, but how about Virginia?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, how about Virginia? And speaking of Virginia and Maryland, they're at Maryland tomorrow night, a huge game in the ACC, and Virginia's sitting there right now at 10-3-1.
Another North Carolina school looking for some love is Charlotte.
Yeah, well, you got to mention Charlotte because, they got in there earlier in the year. We were talking about the fact that, here's Charlotte getting into the top 25. Well, they've stayed there and moved up. They're at number 11, 2 games with Dayton and Xavier this weekend.
Got to highlight Northwestern. Why? Well, Tim Lenahan was at Lafayette, handed over the reins to Dennis Bond, and he's got the Wildcats at number 12.
Yeah, and he's obviously proud of his team. He's proud of Dennis Bond's team as well, and, Northwestern keeps doing it as well. They're trying to win the Big Ten Conference. They're at 9-2-4.
And how about Harvard from the Ivy League?
Yeah, big game for Harvard this weekend with Dartmouth, and Harvard sitting at 10-3-1, and I think the Ivy League is definitely going down to the final weekend.
And there's Tulsa at number 18. They're climbing.
Yeah, Tulsa's been climbing kind of quietly into the top there again. You know, it's no surprise they're a good team every single year, but they have a very big matchup with Memphis this weekend. They sit at 9-4-2.
Brown also hanging around, but when we flip the chart, there is Iona.
Yeah, we talk about Iona, the 11-1-2 going into this weekend, all right? And we mentioned that already we have a result from the weekend, you know, where they were defeated by Loyola, you know, who last year made a clean run in the MAC conference. But Iona still trying to stay up there. First time into the top 25. Congratulations.
And Keith Tabatsnik, another North Carolina school, UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, and Aiden Haney had his 100th win this year. He's on there on an 8-game unbeaten streak when they beat James Madison 2-0 midweek, 10-2-3.
A lot of great play out there, a lot of great players. Let's take a look now at the NSCAA Player of the Week.
Well, I'll tell you, if you haven't seen this goal yet, just go onto YouTube because it's there. Ryan Rosenbaum, a 95-yard game-winning goal in SMU's 3-2 win over number 16 Tulsa. Ryan, congratulations. Keep hitting those goals.
And your final score from Bucknell, the Bucknell Bison 1, the Lafayette Leopards 0, as we're here now, Dean Linke, along with our sideline reporter, Amara Parsegian, and my broadcast partner, Keith Tabatsnik. And once again, the NSCAA Game of the Week draws a record crowd, Amara.
1,464 here tonight at Home Stadium. It was an orange out, and they were wild with the win.
All right, and they should be wild because Connor O'Brien is the Patriot League Player of the Year last year. Probably will win it again, and he was great tonight.
Well, he certainly was, and you know, he was great when he had an excellent defender, Chip Aronica from Lafayette, all over him the whole game, and yet he still found a way to be an important part of the game.
All right, let's roll to the highlights, and of course, at the end of it, it'll be O'Brien.
Yeah, well, you got this, you know, in the first half, there's a Joyner going down, and we'll obviously talk about him later getting a shot. Luke Calvano putting a cross, and Fink getting on the end of that, trying to get it on target. And this is what the first half was about, a lot of these kind of half chances here. There's Liberati keeping the ball alive for Puma, putting the shot, Nelson with the save. Another ball going in where Liberati tries to flick it on to Powell at the back post. Right at the end again, here we see Connor O'Brien slipping the ball in to Josh Plug. He gets the cross, but couldn't beat that first defender. That was the first half. They couldn't do it. Then the end of the first half, Lafayette, Nick Lee putting a cross in where Fink flicked it on, a dangerous spot there. And then we go into the second half, and this is what led up to the eventual goal. This is Connor O'Brien putting the ball off of the crossbar, goes out of bounds. Connor O'Brien gets it, puts it down, cross right in there. Luke Joyner gets his 3rd goal of the year. Connor O'Brien, another assist. He just is involved with everything. An assist and goal in 20 of the last 23 games for Bucknell.
And they love it here in Lewisburg. The Men's College Soccer Review presented by the NSCAA, who reminds you that the 63rd Annual NSCAA Convention will be held in Philadelphia's Pennsylvania Convention Center, January 13 through 17, 2010. Sign up, folks, to do it. Go to nscaa.com.